What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to the Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode 27. You've got the entire crew here again today. I'm Fox2. We've got the Pirate,
Hey guys.
Topher,
I'm still half asleep.
and the whole effing Brian.
I still want waffles.
Yes, this is, again, take two due to some very aggressive yard work going on outside of Topher's house.
I like cows. Maybe.
Definitely not in his yard, because we all know he doesn't do yard work.
This week it's not me man grooming.
or Brian trimming his pubes with a weed whacker. Right. So
It's 2 weeks in a row that my neighbor has decided it's going to be a great time to operate every piece of gasoline-powered machinery in his garage, like right when we start recording.
I just have this picture in my head of this like old 70-something-year-old guy with like two lawnmowers, a weed whacker, a chainsaw, like circular saw. Everything is like on and going at the exact same time. Like, just got to make sure that it all works.
That'd be kind of cool.
Heavy metal.
Fucking rock and roll. So, okay, well, let's jump right in and let's start talking about what we've been reading. Brian, back to you.
Well, this week the only thing that I really read that was interesting to me was the last issue of Nightwing number 30. I'm going to save for now, leading off into July's Grayson number 1. I liked the issue. It wasn't like, it didn't seem like a close to everything, like a close, oh, Nightwing's going away, no more Nightwing. It just seemed like a transition, which was good. I mean, you don't really know where the character's going to go. You don't know if Nightwing will ever be back. I mean, granted, Dick's not dead, but granted, you can't have a DC universe without Nightwing. But the issue was good. Most of the issue was Batman and Dick just beating the shit out of each other in the Batcave, which basically the reason you got for it was Bruce is mentally and physically testing Dick to see if he's still up to par after the events of Forever Evil and what they did to him. You get a little background about what Grayson will be about. You guys saw a little bit of Spiral and some of the characters that are going to be in that, which is basically want the identities of the superheroes to get rid of them. I mean, you saw the introduction of Helena Bertinelli, which is interesting too because they already have a Huntress character in the New 52. And
So do you think this will be like a long-term crossover with her in it, or do you think it'll be something different?
Oh, it's totally different. I mean, they separate in the New 52. We already know that Helena, the Huntress, is from Earth. The Huntress in Earth Prime is from Earth 2, who was in that world. She was Bruce Wayne's daughter, and due to the events of that, she got teleported to Earth Prime. Now, the Helena Bertinelli is a whole different character. I mean, she still uses a crossbow. She wears an outfit that kind of looks like the Huntress outfit from the normal DC universe, but they just separated the two characters. So I'm kind of interested in Grayson now since the issue is pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a try. I mean, it's Dick Grayson, but it's with a new take. But we'll see how it goes.
I read also Nightwing. I guess I'll start since that was half of what I read this week was Nightwing 30, and I agree completely with you. I thought it was an awesome book. Not in the traditional sense of what you normally see week to week or month to month in the comics. There really wasn't like a huge plot line or anything like that. It was pretty straightforward, not very much dialogue at all, but just one huge epic fight scene between Dick and Bruce Wayne. And I thought I haven't read hardly any of the Nightwing from New 52. Not because I don't like the character or anything like that. I just inundating with other stuff to read. But that one book, I picked it up because I knew it was the last book, and I knew it was a follow-up to Forever Evil. And that one book really sparked my interest in this Grayson series that is coming up, which I think is what it was really geared to do, was to take the character in a new direction and try and develop new readership from people that maybe not necessarily followed Nightwing because he was pretty similar to Batman. So I think it's going to be something completely different that we haven't seen before from a Batman family character. And that's what I'm interested in seeing, is how, his Batman family roots spills over into this character role, if you will, where he's, not wearing a mask and using a gun and more of a Nick Fury-esque type of character. So I like that. I like that issue a lot. And then the other book that I read was Sinestro 2. I guess I missed Sinestro issue 1. I've got an issue coming to the comic book store, but I really liked it. I think I'm gonna put this on my pull list and read it from week to week. I think Sinestro is a pretty interesting character, as are a lot of the characters in the Green Lantern universe. So that's really all that I've been reading for this week. Pirate, what about you?
I've read quite a bit this week. Well, I'm trying to remember because let's see. I'll be honest. I went in and gave Aquaman a try, and the New 52, and read. I think I'm at like issue 15 or 16 now, and it's not bad. I mean, it's Jeff Johns, so it was a pretty good.
Jeff Johns can't
read.
do anything
I
well.
literally think he could just scratch, just whatever, and it would be great. But read a bunch of Aquaman, read a bunch of bunch of Green Lantern, and then I had to kind of bounce around between Green Lantern and New Guardians and Green Lantern Corps and Red Lanterns. So I've been reading basically all of that, all of those comics that kind of
Tie
coexist
together
with each other. Larfleece, I love that comic. That is probably hands down one of my favorite Green Lantern, or not Green Lantern, but Corps books that are out now. Larfleece is the orange Lantern, and he's hilarious. It's orange is the color for greed, so you could just imagine he's the only Orange Lantern pretty much. Everybody else is like basically, after he defeats someone or kills someone, they become a
Construct.
Yeah, a construct in his army. So it's pretty interesting, and he's completely insane, but it's hilarious.
Another fun fact about him: he has no oath. All he says is "mine" to recharge.
Yeah, dude, he's always running around. He kind of, what was it like? He reminds me of Finding Nemo, where the seagulls are always like, mine. So he's like battling shit. Like, if he sees something, it's his. That's it. Like, hands down. It's fucking hilarious. Like, no matter who he's up against. And then he's got like a little butler type, like slave, that follows him around. And he's kind of like a smart guy, but he's always like, the way he interacts with Larfleece is very condescending. And Larfleece thinks like he's like this great, powerful, warrior, and the guy's always like, he's the sarcastic Alfred, basically, kind of character. It's a really good book. Future's End, read. I've been hearing
really good things from that, or about that, from the people at the comic book store and stuff. I was really surprised, not to totally hijack you, but I was really surprised that the guy at the local comic book store told me that everybody has been saying that they enjoy Future's End, and almost no one other than me said that they enjoyed Original Sin.
Yeah, I like Future's End. Original Sin, it's not that bad. I'm just confused at what they're trying to do with it.
Well, I mean, there's only been one. It's only been one book.
I think did two. But
Two.
Ground Zero.
Zero.
Well,
and
yeah,
one.
I mean, if you count Zero, but Zero really was like a history of the Watcher more than like the actual
There's-
story. There's a couple tie-ins too. There was the Avengers tie-in, and then there was
Deadpool just had a tie-in.
Yeah,
and
Deadpool
Mighty
tie-in.
Yeah,
Avengers.
it had almost nothing to do with it. It just
Yeah.
went on its own path. I mean,
Well, number 3 comes out next week, don't it? Or this
Two.
or actually, no, number
Today.
3.
We got today.
I got 1 and 2 already.
But I don't know, because everything I read about it, it's like now everybody's gonna see like some kind of sin they made in the past or whatever, and Tony Stark's gonna end up having something to do with Bruce Banner getting hit by the gamma bomb, and there was one other thing that was weird that they talked about that's gonna pop up.
yeah. I know
So-
there's a Hulk versus Iron Man. That makes sense. There's a Hulk
Yeah.
versus Iron Man issue, which I'm excited just to see how they visually represent that. But I don't
Anybody-
story-wise, I don't know.
If anybody's read, I forgot. It was a cosmic event. Something I don't know if it was. It was something to do with like the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Nova Corps, like 4 years ago, where Nova and Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, tried to defeat some group from something called the Cancerverse, and they went into this rift and never came back. And then all of a sudden, recently, I think when Guardians of the Galaxy restarted recently, Peter Quill's back, and Rich Rider, the big Marvel Nova, never showed up again, and that is gonna
Plays
be
into it.
Guardians of the Galaxy's original sin. You're gonna show what happened.
Oh, I see.
Why he didn't come back and Star-Lord came back.
I see.
See, I like
That's
the
the
way
only
that
thing I'm
the
interested
original
in.
Sin, this issue 2 ended with, the orb.
Oh, that's
standing
right. I
there
remember that now.
with the
Okay.
bomb, like the eye as a bomb, and everybody's in front of him. So I think that's what's going to cause them all to see. It's going to go off. They're going to flash and see some fucked up shit. And
Yeah, they're gonna see their sins. Like there was one thing with Spider-Man that I don't know if it was at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 1, where the new volume that just started, where it was just like anything can happen in 1 second. You see the spider drop off Peter's hand, bite a chick on the ankle, and then die.
Mm-hmm.
So there's gonna be a chick that got powers from that spider too. I just don't understand what they're doing. Marvel hasn't been too impressive lately, if you want to say that.
I would agree. I think that the DC stories have been far better, in my opinion. But I don't know. We'll let John finish, and then Topher, he will have, I'm sure, something to say about Marvel. So, Pyre, is there anything else? You said you're reading Futures End.
I read, Futures End. Read that. I also went back and read the collected of Shazam. from the
Oh yeah,
end.
because we were talking about it last week.
Yeah, they took all the endings from the Justice Leagues and like compounded them, and it's really good. I like it. It's basically him versus Black Adam. Black Adam was remember how we were talking about, like, what the whole thing with the two are is they were both champions of the wizard of the magical realm, and Black Adam was the only champion, but became so obsessed with being champion that the wizards of the realm sealed him in and said, you're too powerful, you have to stay shut, vaulted. Well, he becomes released. Well, since he was vaulted, the wizard has been trying to seek another magical champion. So throughout, he pulls all these people that are good, like these really great, do-gooders, pulls them in, and then once he, puts the magic on them and makes them think like, okay, basically gives them like a little quick test, they're not worthy. So then he sends them back to wherever they were. So all these are going on all over the world, and then Billy, ends up.
So a creepy old guy who calls himself a wizard collects a bunch of young boys and,
No, these are grown adults.
and sprinkles his magic on them.
No, that was just. No, Billy Batson's the only kid that it's all like adults that he pulls in. When the kid shows up,
Were you reading a fanfic or the actual version?
The actual version of yeah. Anyway, since are you done with the gay tendency now? Can we get back to a real talk here, or do you want to talk about fantasies?
Was it got to be a gay thing? I didn't say it was all little boys. That was all you.
You did.
I said children. You said you're the one who turned it into boys.
Boys. We'll rewind this in a few days. Anyways, so yeah, it's really good. I liked it. I mean, it's just like I said, collected stuff from the end of Justice League. And what else did I read? Oh, American Vampire. Read the first volume and half the second volume of that.
Nice.
First volume was really good. I read that a month ago.
Was it with Sterling Silver?
Yeah.
I think he's a recurring because he's in the second volume too.
Yeah,
He's
I think
just a different type of character.
What about you, Topher? What have you been reading?
This is going to be a very anticlimactic end to this segment because I didn't read shit. Let's see here. I went to the comic book store last Wednesday to go pick up some stuff, and after talking with Fox, you mentioned the last issue of Nightwing came out. I'm like, oh sweet! So I went there to get it, and they were out. Apparently, Fox bought one of the last couple issues. So.
I thought about buying the last issue because there was two issues when I went in. I thought about buying them both. Because I knew I was there before you, and I was like, man, I bet he'll want that. And I didn't, because I didn't know if you had it in your pull list. I wish I'd have got it for you. I'm sure you'll find an issue somewhere.
Yeah, well, I was going to go out again yesterday to a different store, and then ended up being busy and not getting around to it. So, let's see, did I read anything this week? No, I guess I did. A while back, I mentioned I had gone back and was reading some older Marvel Cosmic stuff, and I went back and was reading some more of the Annihilation series, which was it was funny because Brian was just talking about Peter Quill and Richard Rider. Well, this was when they kind of got together during the Annihilation War, and they were fighting. A dude who was invading from the negative zone, and it was kind of I almost thought he was talking about that storyline when he started, but it's been kind of interesting. Drax is in it. I guess this was kind of the story that brought the new Guardians of the Galaxy team together. So I went back to try and read that. So I'm working on that, and it's been kind of interesting because I'm not really familiar with a whole lot of the cosmic stuff, but there's a lot of Thanos stuff in it, which is kind of cool. So, but I've only read like a few issues. So,
right. So I have a question that's not really necessarily news related. So before we get into the next section. I read something that there is an event coming up in New York that Marvel is doing.
Oh,
New York
yeah.
City. Are you going to that, Brian?
Yeah. In July. It's running from June. I think it just opened up. Yeah. Friday, May 30th. It's in Discovery Times Square, which is basically it's like an exhibit place. They have if you ever seen that body exhibit where all the bodies are skinless and goes off the meat and stuff. It's basically what I got from the few things I read. It's basically it's an exhibit that has all props from all the movies and stuff like that. They have the chamber that pictures I've seen so far. They have a chamber that Steve Rogers, Chris Evans went in that made him Captain America, that little sarcophagus type looking thing.
Yeah.
They have props one of the Chitauri soldiers and stuff like that. I haven't seen that many pictures on it, but I have plans to go see it
and take lots of pictures.
Yeah, sometime in July. I think me and a buddy and a few friends of ours are going to go into the city on Batman Day and go check it out.
I feel like that warrants a article from Holef and Brian on the website.
I will take pictures and add an article to it.
There it is. You heard it here first.
I don't know how big it is, but it seems like an interesting thing to go
Well, if you're
see.
talking about Topher, about 2 inches and slightly to the left.
Just hangs
Just
like
kinda,
a dead arm.
Just a little bit this way.
That's, I mean,
he
That's a nail in the head,
doesn't. He's
apparently.
like, God.
I had a witty comeback, something along the lines of "That's all the longer it gets for you," and it just never really
It
materialized.
just didn't come together for you, obviously.
No.
So,
Okay.
hey, I got a question.
All right.
Hey, I want to pose this to the panelists here. With the current issues of Swamp Thing and Aquaman kind of blending together, who do you think could win in a fight if they were underwater in the ocean together?
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
You think Aquaman could? Because
Yeah.
I mean,
He
if
controls.
Swamp Thing
He
can control
controls
the
like.
plant life,
Yeah, but Aquaman controls all the like microbial particles in the water that make up Swamp Thing.
wrong. No, but Swamp Thing begins to make up those because he adapts to them.
Yeah, he could choke out Aquaman with seaweed.
Yeah,
I think
It's-
Swamp. I think.
pretty badass fucking fight.
I think
couldn't-
Aquaman would
You
take.
couldn't choke out Aquaman because Aquaman has like gills and shit and can breathe underwater. You
Yeah.
choke a bitch underwater, he don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still gotta be able to use those muscles.
Aren't there
to-
giant seaweed eating fish like whales or something that could just
Okay.
swallow motherfucking Swamp Thing?
Seaweed versus dude who lives underwater,
And controls every living object in the water.
or giant fucking trident versus
doesn't really control
a
it.
dude
He
loosely held together.
Like he's not like some like underwater slave master.
I mean,
You know what I mean? He
kinda
doesn't
is.
control shit. He just communicates. He asks.
So he's like a glorified snork.
Pretty much. Without the nose.
Oh my god!
If
I
it
missed.
if it's possible, I think Aquaman just got even less cool
Mira
in my
could
mind.
fuck. I think Mira could take Swamp Thing.
What would happen if you farted in a snorks?
That's a good question. If you farted, that's where we're
I
gonna
don't
take
know
this
what to call that
conversation.
thing.
The
It's like a periscope.
the fucking nozzle, the
Periscope.
snork nozzle.
The snorkoscope.
If Aquaman can't beat Swamp Thing underwater, like in
What's
his
the point
domain,
of
then
him?
what the fuck is the point of Aquaman, and why is he on the
reason why I
Justice
asked
League?
this is because the upcoming issue of because Swamp Thing and Aquaman have been teaming up a lot, and the upcoming issue of Swamp Thing shows Swamp Thing with the Trident, Neptune's Trident. So it's gonna be like, I don't know if, because there's a fight scene in one cover, and then the next cover he's got the Trident.
Are they hugging?
Huh?
Hugging it out.
No, they're on the cover. I haven't read it yet, but they're fighting on the cover, and then on the next issue, I don't know if it's the annual, or it might be Aquaman 31 and then Swamp Thing 31, but Swamp Thing's got the Trident, and it comes out the week after Aquaman. So
My question would be, who the fuck cares? That would be like, watching the Buccaneers play the Rams. It's like, who gives a fuck who wins? It's
I
nobody
actually like
that
Swamp
nobody gives
Thing.
a shit about.
Aren't you a Buccaneers fan too? Pirate.
Oh, it's even better.
Wait, are you only a Buccaneers fan because you're pirate?
no, I used to live down there. I actually lived down there when they almost went to the Super Bowl.
What was that, like 12 years ago?
I think it was 2000, 2000.
They won it in '99, didn't they?
Oh my god.
I don't think so.
So he likes
'98,
Aquaman.
they got-
around there.
So he likes Aquaman and the Buccaneers. All right.
And he-
No, I don't like. I give Aquaman. I gave
Look at
Aquaman.
him! Look at him backpedaling
I'm
now.
sorry. I'm not back. I mean, hey, it's. Fuck it.
I guess just
It
as
wasn't
bad
a
as
bad
liking the
book, man.
Bengals.
It wasn't a bad book. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so let's jump over to talk about news. There's honestly not much news going on right now with all the TV shows kind of between seasons, just after the end of their season finales, and then
Yeah, nothing's filming yet.
yeah,
Right.
so it's kind of a low point. We may not. This may be a little bit of a
Did you
short
guys-
episode.
We
Did
could talk
anybody
about Days
watch
of
that new
Future
show
Past.
last night with John what's his name? John Malkovich, Crossbones.
Oh,
It's like
Blackbeard.
it's like 24 meets fucking like pirates. I don't know. It's weird.
Instead of
It's
the
like
digital
super
clock
size.
counting down, you're gonna get some kind of like
Fucking sand
Fuck.
glass.
some like yeah,
Fucking hourglass
sand
thing.
dropping down out. This takes
It's
between
pretty
Like, how the
Like,
fuck
it's
am I
like-
going to count the sand granules to know how long's left in the show, motherfucker?
or this takes place between and 2
Yar,
p.m.
just before we got the booty, but before we took the other ship.
Arr, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
No, it's not that cheesy.
I work for CTU on the island of the Bahamas. Arr.
And no, Topher, we're not going to talk about Days of Future Past yet, because I have not had a chance to see it yet,
He's lame and hasn't seen it.
and I don't want you to ruin that for me.
They all die.
Fine.
Okay, so news. Like I said, there's honestly not that much out there, but we can try and cover what we do know. Brian, you posted something to our Facebook page. If you want to fill us in on Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin, there's been a rumor going around for the past couple of days that he will be playing Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, we all heard the rumors that Thanos is going to be behind the scenes, and you're going to see a little bit of him. So I'm guessing he's going to do the voiceover for him, which, you know, I think is pretty cool. I think Josh
I like Josh
Brolin.
Brolin.
Yeah, he's
I
a
like
good
that.
actor.
I like that choice.
He's got one of those voices that you just, you know, if he's in your face, you're gonna shit your pants.
I just want to mark this day down in history that this is a day where Brian actually agreed with something to do with a movie that's not yet out. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, because it's Guardians of the Galaxy. He's agreed with everything they've done. It's any other movie that we have the problem with.
Oh, right.
So, scratch that.
If it has to do with Superman, Batman, it's clearly a poor life decision. But if it's
Any
Guardians of the
movie.
Galaxy,
Any
you're
movie. If
straight
it's Guardians
fire.
of the Galaxy, it can do no wrong.
Nope. Who doesn't love a talking raccoon in a tree?
Oh my god!
That's true. I mean,
All right. So you guys all like this choice with Josh Brolin and
absolutely.
Do you think that this will spill over into Thanos becoming a more prominent villain in the future, like Avengers movies?
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm
Eventually,
interested in.
yeah.
Oh, definitely. Like if you look at what they're building up here, like I honestly believe that they're going for Infinity Gauntlet. Like the third Avengers movie really looks like it's going to be that way, because they've even said that like in Age of Ultron, Thanos isn't going to be huge, but it's still going to be building up for for the third Avengers movie. And there's a scene in one of the Thor movies when they're in Asgard and Odin's walking through like the vault of all the weird
that's
like
Oh,
artifacts.
that's in the first one, yeah.
And you can see there's a glove in the back with like glowing gems inset in the knuckles, and it's like oh shit, yep. So I mean,
In the
maybe it's
Guardians
just
of
an
the
Easter egg,
Galaxy-
but
In the Guardians of the Galaxy previews, it shows the Collector. There's a cutscene that fades out and shows him wearing it. So
yeah, and there's the Collector too, and then something in some people were talking about how some of the things they've been using in these movies might be, basically, power gems or Infinity Gems from the Gauntlet. So, I think they're building up to that. So I think he's going to be the bad guy for Avengers 3.
Okay, now fill me in. I'm not like fully informed on the Thanos character because I haven't read a lot of the like mystical, like I don't even know, cosmic, I guess, universe of Marvel. So what are the Infinity Gems? Like what do they do exactly?
They control different There's 6 of them. They control different like aspects. One's reality, one's time, one's space, one's power. Shit. I'm missing 2.
Yeah, I don't remember what they all are either.
Okay, but
One's time, and I don't remember what the 6th one is.
okay, but regardless, so they
Mind? Did I say
Women.
mind already?
no.
No.
And mind
Yeah,
is the
that's
last
another one.
one. kind of like Loki's
Control-
staff. The
Mhm.
gem on Loki's staff is one. How he was controlling
Right.
people's mind.
I see. I
That's
see.
one.
Okay.
The,
Okay.
The one in Thor that red. I forgot what they called it. That red.
Dark Mithril or whatever it was.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was strength power.
Mithril.
The power gem,
Supposedly the Tesseract is the space one.
the space gem, yeah.
They haven't showed a time.
Time, reality, and soul. are
Reality.
The other three.
Yeah, they haven't showed those yet, but supposedly that's at Avengers 1 they said that Thanos was not going to be the villain for the second Avengers. They were going to work and show pieces of getting up to him for the third one, and that's what you've been seeing. You've been seeing the gems. Guardian of the Galaxy is going to open up the universe, like the space part of Marvel, so you could see
Yeah.
more of where he's coming from, so you understand him more. It's just like, okay, we got this guy in space, bam, right on you.
For
And you're
people, yeah, for people like me that don't necessarily have a full background, because I haven't really read. I would say, even though I'm a huge Incredible Hulk fan, most of my reading is probably DC oriented, especially new stuff, because DC's just, in my opinion, the writers are so much better, at least currently. So I think that that's a good way of doing it for people like me that. Obviously I'm a huge comic book nerd and love comic books and stuff, but I need to have some kind of background. And I mean, I can always come to you guys and be like, "Hey, what the hell is this? Tell me." You know.
Yeah. Or go to
And-
Wikipedia.
right? And one of you is going to know how to tell me about what. There you go. There's a
There's
nice
the
picture.
gauntlet.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of an inside track, but to the average moviegoer, I think that's a good way to
Yeah.
keep their interest through the Avengers series, which they've obviously already done a fantastic job of through the movies.
For DC people like you, I basically say Thanos is the Marvel's dark side. In a
Right,
way.
right. That's what I've always in my head compared him to, was like the equivalent of Darkseid, but I never really knew much about him. So
Thanos is like, so on the moon of Saturn, Titan. There's like a race of like these Titans that are all like very powerful creatures, and there was like Titans Gone Bad, which were basically like
is that like Girls Gone Wild with
pretty much there was
purple
like
dudes?
a group of
Galactic
there was like a
Titans.
group of special ones who were like fallen, and like considered crazy, and Thanos was they his nickname is the Mad Titan, and he like goes and wipes out like the rest of them. So he's like basically the last left Titan, and he's basically like super intelligent, has all these like awesome plans, and can think like he's damn near omniscient, can think ahead like fucking 5 million steps ahead of everybody, and super powerful. So I mean, he's always been a very scheming character.
I gotcha. So the next piece of news is, and I'm going to go back to Brian just because he brought this to the table. For the Netflix series Daredevil was cast. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. He's not a big actor. I tried looking up his previous works. He was on like Boardwalk Empire. I even forgot his name. I mean, I don't know anything about him. I can't tell you how good he'll be. But his name is, God damn it. His name is Charlie Cox.
He was. Did you ever see the movie Stardust? It was an adaptation of a Neil Gaiman book and later graphic novel. The main character Tristan in that. That's the guy. That's Charlie Cox.
What is your opinion? Obviously, you are more familiar with that character or that actor. Do you see him being able to play a good Daredevil?
I mean, that's the only thing I know him from. But I mean, he was good in it. He did well in the role. So, I mean,
Better or worse than Ben Affleck as Daredevil?
I mean,
Wasn't
it's got to.
horrible.
I think it's got to be better.
I'm gonna play counterpoint there because I thought Ben Affleck did a good job playing Daredevil. I just thought the movie Daredevil itself was
That's what I was
like
saying.
distracting and lacking, and just had some really goofy moments in it that were like
the scene that fucking
pulled
killed
you
it
out.
for me was when him and Elektra are fighting
On the teeter-totter or
playground.
whatever.
Playground in front of all the
Yeah,
kids.
and I'm like, this is so stupid. Now you've lost me. Like, so, but other than that, and then fucking Colin Farrell's character, I hate the fact the way they character
That was
made him not Deadshot, but
Bullseye.
Bullseye,
It
yeah.
was so stupid. And then the one dude, Kingpin, it was not a good Kingpin. I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know.
I didn't dislike
All around
the
the movie
Kingpin.
was written.
Yeah, I didn't dislike him as Kingpin. He was the perfect body size. I couldn't see them getting anybody better without having to.
Well, I
use
think it was the
kind
way
of,
they wrote his lines and they wrote his acting into it. Like it.
Yeah, he was kind of ghetto.
Yeah.
So he was a hood rich Kingpin, whatever. I'm just
So-
saying.
So I find it amusing that, like, on one of our very first episodes, we were talking about the casting of Ben Affleck as Batman, and we were going around, and everybody's like, "Oh, I think it's awful. I think it's terrible." Blah blah blah. Like and then it came to me, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because I think I'm the only person in the world who didn't hate him as Daredevil, and you guys tore me apart. You were like, "What? No, get off this show!" Like, ah! You guys had a shit fit because I said that he wasn't that bad as
It's
Daredevil,
possible.
and now you're all sitting here like, "Oh yeah, I think he did fine as
It's
Daredevil."
possible.
The rest of the
It's-
movie
Oh,
was
I don't
fine."
think. I still
So,
don't think he did
fuck
good
you
as
guys.
Daredevil. I
No,
mean, that could be.
It's
that could
possible
be,
that I said
like,
that.
the script, or it could be him. I still don't think.
It's possible that I said that, but I have
I
watched
just
the
watched
movie
it a
since
few
then.
He always had
Yeah.
like a sad face Daredevil on, like with his mask. He was always like, "I can't see."
Oh shit. No, it's possible that I said that to you, Topher, but I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie since then, and if you just take away all the distracting elements of the movie itself,
Like the whole movie.
him
Like the
playing
play
Matt
button.
Murdock, he played it well. I thought he was pretty good as Daredevil, but there was just so many other elements of the movie that were just like,
If you look at the picture of him as Batman and you look at a picture of him in the Daredevil outfit, they both look very sad.
I don't. You're a
Sad
fucking
Batman.
hater. You know that, Brian? I'm just gonna put that out there for the world. You're a damn hater. There was nothing at all wrong with that picture of Batman standing in front of
He
the
just
Batmobile.
his
He did look sad.
It was
Yeah,
a
he just looks
monochrome.
sad.
It was a monochrome picture. You could put
I
a
don't care, he
picture
still looks
of a person holding their newborn child that is the best day of their life in monochrome, and they would
They
look
would
like
have
a
a
fucking
smile.
sad picture.
not
No,
like
well,
a-
because if they're looking up, all you have to do, like if you're looking up and holding a baby with a smile on your face.
Okay, here's the
in a
second
I
question.
don't care how you
How
shoot
many
it.
times does Batman look happy? I
But
win.
how many times
I
does he
win.
look down and look like he wants to fucking
Yeah,
just like
he doesn't.
crawl?
Batman doesn't look like he wants to cry though.
Batman didn't. I don't think he looked like he wanted to cry.
He looked like he wanted to cry.
But I don't think that. I mean, would you have rather seen him put a picture of him with a big ass cheesy smile on his face, like happy Batman? Like,
That make me feel better about myself. Yes.
So,
I don't like. I'm trying to look for the Daredevil
office Batman.
DVD right now,
so
just so I
this
can
works.
show you sad Batman.
This works for Daredevil, and it'll probably work for Batman v Superman too. What you do is you watch Wolverine Origins before you go see it, and then it looks like the best movie ever.
I still haven't seen
All you have
that
to do
movie.
is look at. All you have to do
Yes,
is
you
look
have,
at
Doug.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Deadpool.
'cause
in
we
that
lived
movie
together when it
and
came
cry.
out, and I know we watched it.
It's possible.
Well, the one
were
good
just-
thing about this
That's
new
just
X-Men,
when you was on. Yeah, never mind.
the one good thing about this new X-Men movie, not to spoil anything, I mean, you probably read it, that it erases every single movie except for First Class. So we don't have shitty Wolverine anymore. We don't have shitty Deadpool anymore. We don't have Gambit with a Cajun accent.
But he is Cajun.
I mean, not a Cajun. He sounds like he's from Chicago.
Oh, I was getting ready to say, like, wait a minute.
Hey,
Is
cold
that,
up here in the Witty, Cindy.
is that sad Daredevil there?
Oh, you found it before I got to find it. Yes, that
It
sad
doesn't
Daredevil.
look like sad Daredevil to me.
Sad Batman.
That doesn't.
I can't.
See,
Oh,
if you put that in black and white, it'll look almost
my cover's
exactly
different.
like the costume.
Your cover's glossier.
Yeah, no, I've got the director's cut, the daring new vision.
Yeah,
Even
I don't.
with Batman in
I
it.
don't think that looks that. I don't know. I think Brian, you're crazy. I think
I
that
can't see.
everything that we've heard about Batman v Superman and the whole DC upcoming Justice League series of movies sounds good. I think it's gonna be good. I just don't. And there's no way to tell how somebody's going to play a role by one still photograph that has no color pigment in it at all.
Look, Daredevil got his vision back and became Batman.
So that's another thing that came out in news too. They announced that they're going to use like the later like the 600 series of Wonder Woman or Wonder Woman's outfit.
And the leather jacket.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing that Brian complained about this week.
Yeah, why can't you just wear her underwear?
Maybe they don't want her spilling anything out in the fucking fight scene. I don't know.
They're afraid of Amazonian camel toe.
Because they don't want her to look like a porn star in the movie, probably would be my best guess.
Probably because they have to pad her out to make her look muscular, and you can't do that when you're wearing tights and like the frickin' swimsuit.
No, if you see the pictures of her on set in that blue dress, that blue dress is pretty tight.
I don't think they're gonna pad her out that much. I think that
they had there was a recent photo of her.
She's already gained some muscle weight.
Has she?
It was like some modeling thing some gig that she had on the side, and then
there was a set picture of her already. She's wearing this like thin blue dress.
Yeah, but that's from like a
tell she's like really
hey, like what that is.
I think what they're going to do is
they'll fix it in post.
Yeah, they're going to keep her. They're going to keep her lifting weights and putting on muscle and stuff all the way up.
They're going to turn her into a CG balloon animal,
and then they're just going to add some CG effects to it, and that'll be that.
Sad Batman.
What else is interesting?
Skinny Wonder Woman.
They are going to film straight through until November. So that means they're filming this movie and Justice League, or the following movie is all one shot. Like they're doing it all summer long.
Yeah, that was another piece of news that
I think that's a good idea.
No longer a Superman sequel. It's one of 6 movies that's leading up to Justice League.
That's not actual news. That is not actual. That's not a fact.
Oh, that's not a fact?
No, I read somewhere that is not a fact. That was just something that Kevin Smith said in one of his podcasts that was like,
they should do that?
I think this is what they're doing. And everybody on the internet fucking ran with it and turned it into, this is what they're, this is the for sure thing. That is not, that's what it looks like. Yeah. But nobody from DC has confirmed that.
So are you saying that you're more of an expert on what Kevin Smith says than most people?
No,
or are you saying
I'm saying that, like, he came out and fucking put, like, a post on Twitter or Facebook or somewhere and said, like, you guys are fucking being ignorant. Like, if you listen to what I said, I think this is what they're doing, not someone told me. So
I am ignorant towards said Batman.
So we don't know for sure that that's even what they're doing. I hope that is what they're doing because I think that's the right move to do. But I don't, there's really no telling for sure. I mean, we definitely know that this isn't a sequel to Man of Steel. It's, Batman v Superman, which I think is another like interesting thing that I read on the internet was that I guess in the legal system, when you have a court case...
You read that when I posted it on our Facebook page.
Oh, I didn't see it there. I read it somewhere else. I did read it somewhere else. I didn't see it on there. But anyway, yeah, okay. Well, go ahead, Topher. Fill us in on that.
Oh, no, we were trying to figure out what Batman v Superman. I'm like, maybe it's like a court case thing, and like in the legal system, when you file a case, it's the plaintiff v defendant. Like,
so it would be Batman bringing Superman to justice. Would be essentially.
Well, no, I think what it is because the original premise that we heard is that Wayne Enterprises and Luthor Corps is rebuilding Metropolis, and they're probably going to be trying to throw Superman under the bus, saying that, look at the dangers. This is what aliens can do to us. Like, so Superman's might be on trial at some point because it's his fault, the damage. Like, he's the son of Krypton. They came after him.
Because he cost
happened.
like fucking $400 billion worth of damage in the first movie.
So are they gonna? So are you saying that they're gonna sue Godzilla for breaking a whole bunch of shit?
I mean, that seems legit.
I mean, Godzilla is the balancer of man, so...
If Godzilla showed up in a courtroom, they probably would.
Godzilla, what do you plead?
Have you guys seen the new Godzilla?
Yeah,
Wasn't that
I still haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet either, but I heard
thought
it was pretty good.
So maybe what they're doing is they're giving a nod to Ben Affleck's former role as Matt Murdock, and they're making him into a lawyer superhero hybrid, and so he's gonna sue Superman. So it really is Batman v
Is that
Superman.
why Batman's sad because he has to be a lawyer again?
Exactly.
I bet the V is actually a nod to My Cousin Vinny, which is a court case with Joe Pesci, and there's going to be
you're done.
and Uma Thurman comes in. And
No, I got it. V. Okay, so they're jealous of
V for Vendetta.
No, they're jealous of all the Marvel movies and the fact that Marvel is now owned by Disney, and so they've got a crossover potential with Star Wars. So DC is like, well, V can stand for Vulcan, and we'll bring Star Trek into our universe.
That was the dumbest
I'll
thing
give-
I've ever
I'll
heard.
Stargate 555. What's this guy flying in a cape, and who's this sad man over here?
I can't wait until this movie finally comes out 2 years from now so that Brian can just sit here and weep in pathetic misery as he has to admit to all of us around the world that are seeing this video that Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice was a good movie. Because
As a
it will-
music-
I don't
That would be-
think he's going to do it. I think Brian will be sick that week. Or month.
As amusing as that would be, I'm actually hoping now that the movie falls flat on his face, just because I want to hear Brian rub it into Fox's face.
It'll never happen. It'll never happen.
Yeah, I'll have streamers and fireworks and going off.
So wait, what are we going to gauge this on? A matter of like what makes it
Box
successful and what
office.
makes it a failure?
I think
Box
we'll,
office.
Or
I
is
think
it
I think we need to
strictly box
do
office sales?
no. I think
Weekend
we need to
box
do a
office.
blend of box office and reviews somehow.
I mean, but reviews could always be good, and the movie could just fucking suck. I mean, people. I mean,
reviews of our own panelists here. So we
Oh.
have one person, myself, who's obviously pro Batman versus Superman, and then one person who's negative Nancy, which is Brian, and then we have two bystanders in Topher and Pirate. So it seems to me that we have a nice panel here, and we can take a consensus once all of us have seen it, and we'll get either a thumbs up or thumbs down
Well,
from the panel.
And it's going to be months after the movie comes out because you will see it opening weekend, and you'll be
we'll
that
wait-
last guy
we'll
to
wait-
fucking
we'll
steal
do
it.
No,
it.
I'll see
We'll
it. I'll
wait-
see it month. I'll see it opening night.
We'll wait 2 weeks. We'll wait a week after to talk about it, so we
Yeah.
can get box office numbers for the weekend.
Right. We will need box
Like
office numbers
exact
because
number.
that takes that should be counted in as well. I'll give you that because it is going to shit all over Captain America 3 as well. There.
Plus, we'll have to wait a
Well,
week.
it's not
At least
going to be
Captain
on there.
America's
They
happy.
pulled
That's
it.
it, Batman.
We'll have to wait a
They
week.
pulled Captain America 3
They pulled
Well,
Cap 3.
from the opening weekend with.
They moved it.
Did they
Yeah.
really?
I don't remember.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I heard that they've already backed out, and they said they're not going to do it the same weekend.
You know why? It's because they're
'Cause I-
goddamn scared.
No, because I was just about to say that we'll have to wait a week anyway, because I'm going to be seeing Cap 3 that weekend. So
Yeah, that's true.
That's your
Uh,
fault. That's a life
you know,
decision that
just
you're
vote
failing
on
at.
that
That's too
week.
bad.
Maybe they just felt bad for DC and didn't want to go up against it, so they're like, take it.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, it
Well,
doesn't matter. I mean,
Batman.
either way,
Yeah, Batman.
somebody's going to lose money. So if they just wait an extra weekend,
Yeah,
it makes
Batman.
sense. You'll get both.
that's
money.
the thing. Like, even if they could win,
Win or
even if
lose,
they
they're both going to
thought
lose
sure
money.
they could lose. You put them both in the same weekend, neither one of them is going to make as much money.
Agreed. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. So that will be the future. We'll figure out a contest, and we'll have some kind of prize for the
Brian.
The sad Batman action figure.
We're gonna have some kind of something will be on the line. So we'll see. But that's about it for this week.
Brian V. Fox.
Yeah, there you go, Brian. Yeah, okay, I like it. So that's about it for this episode. I'm Fox 2. We got the Pirate.
See you guys.
Topher.
Peace.
And Brian.
Sad Batman says bye.
I knew it was coming. What an asshole. See you guys.